Michael was deep into a spreadsheet at work when his phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen, expecting a quick message from a client or a reminder from his calendar. Instead, it was from Linda, his wife of 15 years. "I want a divorce. Please direct all further communication through my lawyer, David." That was it. No explanation. No warning. No emotion. He stared at the message, unmoving. The night before, they had shared a quiet dinner and talked about weekend plans. Nothing about her demeanor had suggested this was coming. His mind tried to piece it together. Had he missed the signs? Was there something he had done? But the shock quickly gave way to something colder: clarity. She wanted legal-only communication? Then legal it would be. Michael responded with a single word: "Understood." Then he opened his banking app. Linda still had access to a supplementary card under his account. Not joint, just authorized use. He canceled it immediately. He also ended the small monthly transfer he had been sending to her personal account for discretionary spending. Streaming subscriptions under his name were logged out and reset. The car she drove was leased under his name. He didn't cancel the insurance just yet, but he flagged it for review with his own attorney. No revenge, no drama, just order. Linda had made her position clear. Now, it was his turn to set boundaries of his own. Michael had always been a planner, calm under pressure, and now, more than ever, that mindset served him well. Within minutes of Linda's message, he moved from shock to execution. She wanted divorce, not conversation, not counseling, not even closure, just a clean legal break. So that's exactly what she would get. He double-checked his accounts. Linda's supplementary credit card gone. The auto transfer for her spending money canceled. Streaming platforms like Netflix and Prime. Passwords changed, devices logged out. She could subscribe on her own now. Their car situation was trickier. Linda drove a compact SUV, leased in his name, covered under his insurance. For now, he left the insurance in place. Too risky to cancel overnight. But it was on the list for his next discussion with legal counsel. By evening, Michael was back at his apartment. The place was quiet, too quiet. A few drawers had been emptied. Her favorite mug was missing. She must have packed while he was at work. He stood still in the hallway, letting the silence settle over him. Then he pulled out his laptop and opened a browser tab titled "Top-Rated Divorce Attorneys in the City." That's when he found Elizabeth Carr, sharp, well-reviewed, respected in family law circles. He drafted a short email. "My wife informed me she wants a divorce and all communication must go through her attorney. I need urgent legal advice. Please let me know how to proceed." He hit send. Then he sat back, not angry, just prepared. If Linda wanted legal, Michael would meet her there, fully equipped. By Friday afternoon, the first counterstrike came. Michael's phone rang. Unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. Michael speaking. A clipped voice shot back. "Mr. Michael Turner? This is David Langston. I represent your wife, Linda." Michael kept his tone neutral. "Yes, my client is experiencing difficulties. Her cards are being declined, and she's been locked out of several services. She's also no longer receiving her usual financial support. This is highly irregular and inappropriate during a separation." Michael exhaled slowly. "Mr. Langston, Linda texted me 3 days ago stating that all communication must go through you. I acknowledged and complied. The financial arrangements you're referring to were informal and based on mutual trust she chose to end." There was a pause. Papers shuffled on the other end. "She's without access to basic necessities," David continued, voice tight. "Accommodation, groceries, mobility." Michael cut in calmly. "Any further support needs to be discussed through formal legal channels. I'm retaining counsel as we speak. You may direct all filings to Elizabeth Carr." Another pause. "She needs help now, Mr. Turner." "I'm honoring her request," Michael said firmly. "She ended our partnership via text and shifted everything into legal hands. I'm doing the same." He hung up. His heart was pounding, not from fear, but from the weight of everything becoming real. Still, he felt no regret. That evening, He began documenting every step, canceled payments, account logs, every conversation. A digital folder labeled divorce, legal backup began to grow. Linda had lit the fuse. Michael was building the firewall. It was late Wednesday evening when the next unexpected call came in. Michael had just finished dinner, alone, again, and was preparing notes for his next meeting with Elizabeth, his lawyer. The caller ID showed a familiar name, Joseph Carter, Linda's longtime friend, practically family during the marriage. Michael answered cautiously. "Hello." "Michael, seriously? What the hell is going on?" Joseph snapped without greeting. Michael straightened. "What are you referring to?" "Linda's sleeping on my couch. She can't access her money. Her card's been declined at the grocery store, and she's terrified. You just cut her off." Michael sighed. He had expected this eventually. "Joseph," Linda told me, clearly, that she wanted a divorce and that all communication must go through her lawyer. I respected that. She barely works, man. She's freaking out. You know she depended on you. I was willing to have a discussion," Michael interrupted, keeping his voice even. "She chose to go through lawyers. I'm following her decision." Joseph scoffed. "So that's it?" Cold silence after 15 years. Michael felt the sting, but he didn't flinch. This isn't silence. It's structure. It's exactly what she asked for. There was a pause, then a quiet, frustrated sigh. "She's not doing well." Michael's tone softened, but only slightly. "That's unfortunate, but she made her choice. I'm not going to be guilt-tripped for respecting her wishes." Joseph didn't respond right away. Then came a flat, "She won't forget this." "Neither will I," Michael replied. "Good night, Joseph." He hung up, added a new entry in his legal log, and turned off his phone. The emotional weapons were out now, but Michael was staying behind the shield of reason. The courthouse smelled like old wood and nerves. Michael sat quietly beside Elizabeth, his lawyer. He had dressed simply, clean suit, no tie, clear mind. Across the room, Linda sat with David. Her eyes were puffy. She didn't look at him. David stood first. "Your Honor, my client has been left with no financial support, no transportation, no access to her former home. This has placed her in immediate hardship. We request emergency spousal support and exclusive use of the marital residence." Michael didn't move. Neither did Elizabeth. When it was her turn, Elizabeth stood with crisp confidence. "Your Honor, the petitioner sent a text message stating her intent to divorce and requested all future communication go through her attorney. My client complied entirely. He canceled only informal, discretionary support. No mortgage, utilities, or insurance payments were halted. The home in question is still in his name, and she vacated it voluntarily. She handed over documentation, the text message, bank logs, account cancellations, and payment history. Everything was dated, highlighted, and organized. The judge skimmed the materials, then looked at Linda. Why was there no discussion before legal action? Linda hesitated. I was overwhelmed. I thought this would be simpler. The judge nodded slowly, then turned back to the paperwork. Emergency support is granted, he ruled, but limited to reasonable living expenses, not to maintain prior lifestyle. No exclusive claim to the home is approved at this time. Michael didn't smile, but inside, a small part of him felt steadier. It wasn't about winning. It was about making sure truth had a place in the room. The attacks stopped being legal. Now, they were personal. Michael got the call on a Monday morning. HR wanted a quick meeting. An anonymous complaint, they said. Allegations that you're using company resources for personal legal matters. Also erratic behavior. Michael stayed composed. I use my personal devices exclusively for anything outside work. Feel free to check. They had already checked. Nothing was found. The complaint was vague, clearly designed to stir doubt, not prove anything. He thanked them, walked out of the office, and immediately added a new entry in his legal record. Anonymous HR complaint filed post-court ruling. No findings. Retaliatory in nature. That evening, another call came, this time from Linda's mother. How could you do this to her? she cried. She's your wife. 15 years. And now she's struggling to even get groceries. Michael closed his eyes and spoke gently. She asked for divorce, ma'am, and made it legal only. I respected that. But you're her husband, the woman insisted. Not anymore, Michael said quietly. By her choice. Click. The call ended. Another note went into the file. Then came the banking alert. An attempted withdrawal from an old, half-forgotten joint savings account. One they had opened early in their marriage and left untouched. He drove to the bank, explained the situation, and had the account frozen pending legal review. It wasn't about the $500 that was left in it. It was the pattern. Linda had chosen legal boundaries, then tried to bend them whenever it suited her. But Michael wasn't bending. Not anymore. Elizabeth began pressing for full financial disclosure. If Linda had hidden anything, it was time to bring it into the light. This was no longer about emotion. It was about facts and control. 6 months later, it was over. The last court hearing had ended, the paperwork was signed, and Michael no longer had a ring on his finger. The car was the final straw. Linda had refused to return the vehicle he had been leasing under his name. She couldn't qualify to take over the lease herself, but still fought to keep it. Elizabeth filed notice with the leasing company. No more payments. No more insurance. Within 2 weeks, the car was quietly repossessed from the street outside Joseph's apartment. Linda was furious. Multiple missed calls. One final text. You can't do this. How am I supposed to get anywhere? Michael took a screenshot, sent it to Elizabeth with a single note. She broke the no-contact rule. The house was next. Sold quickly. The equity was split, nearly down the middle. Linda fought for more, citing financial hardship. That's when the truth surfaced. Under court pressure, Linda had to disclose all assets. Turned out she'd had a separate savings account, built from quiet parental contributions over the years, and a few small inherited investments she forgot to mention. Elizabeth proved commingling. The judge factored it in. The final ruling. Assets split fairly, with a slight lean in Michael's favor. Minimal spousal support, capped at 2 years. Each side paid their own legal fees. No drama. No headlines. Just the clean, cold resolution Linda had asked for. Michael stood outside the courthouse alone, breathing in the sharp winter air. He didn't feel proud. He didn't feel victorious. He just felt still. Sometimes closure doesn't come with celebration. It comes with silence and peace. Have you ever been in a situation where someone set the rules, but couldn't live by them themselves? Let us know in the comments. We're listening.